Okay, so welcome back to Meeting Millennials. We're still on season 2 of quarantine. Unfortunately, the coronavirus hasn't been, handled correctly. We're still in a pandemic. It hasn't been an endemic yet, so we're still trying to get it under control. But today I have a very special guest. Some of you may know him as Listo. He's been on the show before. So Listo, welcome back.
Good morning. How you doing?
Very good. Just trying to make it through another day.
Definitely, quarantine is it's a whole new thing of itself.
It really is. So I know you had a fight, or you were gonna have a fight recently, but then things happened. So can you tell us about what happened with your fight and stuff?
Well, yeah, definitely. Basically, we were honestly supposed to fight today, which is Saturday, July the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
We were already going through our training, going through our dieting. We were dropping the pounds. I was really getting really excited. I felt great. My energy was great. I felt really strong, and I was excited to get back in the ring because I haven't been back in the ring since September of 2019, which is, it's close to a year now almost.
Yeah.
And I just really wanted to get in the ring, just get back inside in front of the fans, do my job basically. But due to this whole pandemic and the whole COVID-19 thing going on, we had to kind of stop that due to the Texas Commission kind of decided, hey, you know what, we shouldn't take that risk. There was other fights here in Texas that were going to start as well. I believe there was one in Houston on the 11th that also got postponed or canceled indefinitely. And that was due to the same reason. There's just so many factors that were happening. The fighters were going to get tested. Due to the precautions that they were going to take, there was just so much going on. The fighters were going to get tested, the coaches were going to get tested, the judges, the refs, the commission, the paramedics, everybody basically. And not only that, but after we were supposed to weigh in, what was supposed to happen, we were also going to be quarantined in a hotel before the fight. So basically, after the weigh-ins, we were going to go to a hotel, stay at the hotel, and we could not come out. Anything that we needed would be brought towards us, and it was just going to be a big hassle basically. And so they kind of decided to go against that. But we were extremely excited because I believe we're going to have the first official fight in Texas with an actual live audience. We're going to keep it to 50% capacity. We were going to have sanitation stations for everybody. We were ready. We were eager to get just get the show going. But there's people above us as well that they also are keeping in mind the health and the risk factors for not only us as fighters, but also for the audience that was going to be attending. But like I said, unfortunately this happened. But we're still staying in the gym. We're trying to stay as active as possible, finding the sparring regardless that we need. Just to make sure that when fights comes up or we get one out of the blue, we're gonna be ready for it.
So tell me, how have you kept your motivation throughout this whole thing?
Honestly, just I've been watching tons of fights. I even right now there's a lot of fights going on ESPN. Some of the guys on the rise. Like yesterday. They had two of the Golden Boy guys fight, and just watching that, kind of keeps me motivated. Even now that it's boxing's not as active, I still like to go back and watch some of the previous fights. I remember sitting down watching the Kovalev Canelo fight all over again, trying to see what he was using to set up, just kind of studying some more and more and more, and just trying to keep my mind busy and keep myself motivated, but at the same time. I see this as an opportunity to be able to stay in the gym and just hit it hard. We just can't let off the gas just because, we don't know when we're going to fight. It's actually the opposite way. Since we don't know how to fight, we got to stay on the gas just to make sure that we're ready no matter what happens.
Yeah. So we're going to see if anybody is asking any questions. Oh, okay. So we have Irene. She is here in the live, so shout out to her. Do you have any questions for Listo? He's a professional boxer. Do you have any questions? But I really wanted to get to like the bread and butter, basically, like because so your birthday and my birthday is coming up on Tuesday. We're birthday twins. So I just really wanted to like celebrate like our lives basically because like we were born on the same day, but we have two completely different like careers. So
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
more down a path of like you're more a professional boxer, and me, I'm more like in the media.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you like, what advice would you give your past self?
Basically, just be patient. Be patient. Be mindful of the people that are looking out for you. This is a sport where I'm in the ring by myself, but at the same time, some of these opportunities that I have is, I owe it due to my parents, really pushing me, especially my mom and dad. They're the ones that, they're the ones that give me the advice. Hey, man, just be patient or stay in the gym, stay dedicated, don't lose focus. There's a bright future ahead, but you have to work for it. Nothing's handed to you. And so, I mean, I definitely would tell my younger self just to continue to be patient, continue to stay focused, continue to stay motivated, and just to not lose sight of what we're trying to go for at the end of this of boxing. What we're striving for. Setting ourselves up for success in the future.
Mm-hmm. And what about what advice would you give your current self?
The same thing.
You can't say the same thing. You gotta change it.
It's the advice that my parents gave me, and they gave it to me for a reason, and it's what I got to follow. Just make sure I'm staying motivated, and I motivate myself by thinking about the future that I want. What I'm chasing after, and I'm thankful that my parents put me in this path. That I need to just stay focused.
Yeah. So what are you chasing? What is your future goals?
I mean, to be able to, I mean, just like my parents and I mean, many of everybody else's parents out there is, I mean, to kind of set yourself up in a position where you're stable, or more than stable, where you have plenty to offer to your family. My dad, who and mom, who's always been on my side, on my corner in training, on my nutrition. I want to be able to pay them back for everything that they've done for me. Whether it be, having them live in a comfortable house where I don't want them to worry about, whatever bills are coming. Like I want to be able to give back to what they have done for me. They have helped me out tremendously and helped me stay focused to where I don't have any outside distractions when I have fights. If anything's happening that's out of my control, or that they feel they can take the control over, they're gonna do it. Just so that way I don't lose any energy or time, doing it on something that's not gonna benefit me.
Yeah.
That's the main goal, really, is to be able to help out anybody that's always helped me, and that's what I want to do.
So how different do you think that I guess your career, your path would be if you didn't have the support of your parents?
Oh man, extremely different. I see a lot of friends that I grew up with. They're taking different paths. Some positive, some negative. We just I'm just thankful that I was able to kind of find this route, or have my parents as well, help me find this route. But I mean, I feel it would be extremely different. I guarantee you, I would not be. I mean, I'm not skinny now, but I would not be this thin. I love to eat, and that's a negative for me. It's hard, you come up in a Mexican household, everybody likes to drink, Cokes and tortillas and, rice and beans. And I mean, it adds up, man. And I guarantee you I would not be, be this healthy kid.
One thing about like growing up Mexican is like if you're gaining weight, they'll be like, "Oh, you're getting big," but then if you stop eating, they're like, "What's wrong with you?" And then they serve you like two more servings. So it's like I can't win here.
No, definitely. And something I've always told people is that when you're growing up in the Mexican household, the thing is that, as a kid, you can't leave until you're done with everything on your plate, basically. You get scolded if you don't finish your food. And so as an adult, I gotta finish my food, So now you gotta really work on your portions of what you're serving, or what's being on your plate, and so that's something I'm definitely keeping in mind for right now, especially when we're in training, we're in fighting, because I can train, 100 hours, or whatever, I can train all day, but if I'm not eating right, it's just gonna put my training to waste. So I definitely got to be aware of that.
So what is like your cheat meal?
Oh man, my cheat meal. Man, honestly, it's like a greasy burger, or just. I mean, I'm talking about double bacon cheeseburger, fat big patties. That's what I like to eat. Or even cheesecake. Cheesecake right now is my go-to. Man, I could eat a whole pie of cheesecake by myself, without even hesitating. But I got to hesitate now.
So I have a friend at Maroche's Bakery. He's off of Oak Cliff. He is a family-owned business, and he makes the best cheesecake, like fresh. I'm pretty sure every day. And I had one slice, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so good!" So we went back, and we freaking bought a whole cheesecake for just two people, and that was a mistake. 'Cause we went cheesecake every day. It was terrible. It
What's
was
the place
good.
called?
Maroche's Bakery.
Okay, definitely gotta check that out. That sounds good. I
Yeah,
might even. Who knows?
you should. He has really good prices. And support your local businesses. So like ever since the pandemic started, and I've just seen how like the government hasn't done anything for people who are not like having a 9 to 5 job. Like they gave us one stimulus check, and so for somebody who's self-employed, $1,200 for was it 4 months? That's not gonna do anything for me. Like that was gone as soon as it hit my bank account. So
Yeah.
just, I really tried to like change the way that I purchase and support, because I'd rather give my money to like a local owned business and help them with their family rather than a corporation that's not doing crap for us basically.
No,
So
definitely.
yeah, so now I'm basically more emphasizing more local and like sustainable fashion. So I have like I'm very grateful to have like the friends and network that I have to like be able to help people. So I'm also grateful that you're here too, because I get to talk to you and like ask you questions, and you motivate me too. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. You make me blush.
Oh, yeah, because every time I have like an interview or a guest, you help people in one way or another. And so, you're helping people too just by talking about your life, because I know a lot of people are like upside down right now with like their dreams and like their goals. And like I definitely hit like this low point in my life where I just feel like defeated. So I'm like,
Yeah.
well, what are other people doing to like get out of that mindset of like defeat? So I'm like, let me call Listo, see what he's doing, because he's always motivated.
No, I appreciate that. And I mean, it's always great for to be able to help out. Any way I can. Feel free to reach out to me. This not only goes out to you, Lupita, but it also goes out to anybody that's watching right now. Feel free to contact me. Definitely if I have any time on my hands, I'll feel free. I'll be able to answer any questions you might have. Or if you guys just need some help with something, and who knows, maybe I'm in the area. I'm willing to do that. I go out of my way to do stuff like that. I try to be um, very, I guess, like, reachable to anybody that needs me. But I mean, Lupita, you're doing a great job. I applaud what you're doing here. With meeting millennials. I mean, I think it was a great idea from the get go. Before you even left your full time job. I was I was just happy for you. That you're able to get this thing going, and I mean, I really hope that it goes further. I want to see. I want to be back on the show when I become world champion.
Yes, yes. Definitely, you will be, because and you're so motivated, and like you have a great support system. Like really, my parents, they got divorced when I was like 17. So like in my adult life, like I really like I'm so grateful for my dad, because my dad is like the best dad in the world. And so I just want to say thank you to my dad if he's watching. I love you. But like I'm
No,
really grateful to have, my dad. But if it weren't for like, having my dad, then I don't really know, I think about stuff like that. Like how different would my life be if I didn't have this support system, or like what would I be doing now? So that's just something I think about. I'm like, because you've always talked about your parents. So, if is there like something you want to tell your parents if they're out here watching you?
Well, oh, I know they're watching, man. I just want to say, thank you, Ma, thank you, Pa. Not only with me, but with with what I see. I'm the oldest of the family,
Hmm.
so I really see the way they kind of raised us. My mom was really hard on me. I was the firstborn, and she'll tell you, man, like if you've ever seen me write anything like for whatever reason in school or an essay, I, I I I mean I'm not here bragging about myself, but I have pretty good penmanship, and it's due to my mom, man. She used to she used to hit my hand if something was looked ugly. Hey, no, write it all over again. I'd have to do my homework 10 times, even if it was right. If it was ugly and not legible, I would have to redo it. And that's something that I always get compliments on. And you know, and since I am the oldest, I did get to see the way they kind of raised my brothers. My middle brother, he's 2 years right behind me, and he's doing a hell of a job too. He has his head on straight. He's focused just as I am in the sport of boxing as well. And right behind us, we have my 10-year-old brother who is he's looking at us. So we're trying to both my brothers, they're looking up to me, and then I know the youngest is looking up to both of us who are older. He sees us in the gym, he sees us doing whatever, being up working on our cars or even playing the video game. He wants to be a part of it, and I also see the way that my parents raised him. It's a little different than what we were raised, because it's almost a 10-year gap, but regardless, it's always kind of motivating him to be whatever he wants to be, to chase after it. If he's passionate for something, my parents are not the type that are going to shut it down. They're going to be the type to, hey, you know what, you want to do this? Let's find the best way to get there, and make sure you're successful at it. Because one thing is doing something, and another thing is being successful in it, and that's what they really want us to do. Or if maybe they see, hey, there's a flaw here or there, let's figure it out. We're not just gonna let you go in there blindly by yourself. If there's anything they can do for us, they always go out of the way to do it. They never hesitate. And I'm extremely thankful that I really have that. Like you said, that type of support system, that type of family. It's as the saying goes, family is all you got. I'm thankful for my family.
Yeah. So, what are some tips that like or advice that your parents told you that you think would help somebody else?
It goes back to what they told me. What I would tell my younger self. You know,
Hmm.
um, Set a goal. Um, the biggest goal you have. You can set it, but also be sure to set smaller goals that motivate you. And once you start achieving smaller goals, it's what drives you. You start, okay, I feel positive. I was able to do something small. Now let's do something small, another small, and then you're like, what? Let's go for something a little bigger now. And it's a way of keeping yourself focused and keeping yourself determined to be able to go for the big goal that you have set. And like my parents, they always motivated me. Hey, start off with this. Some small goals basically for me that were set was like, for example, before I went pro, we fought at the Golden Glove Nationals.
Hmm.
Just there, even there, it was we were planning on that tournament to be my final tournament, and just like that, we had to set small goals. I had to win regionals. Represent the area, and then from there I had to, fight for state, and I had to represent the state of Texas. And then after that, I had to go to nationals and represent the state of Texas at a national level. So it's these small goals that really add up, and in the end, they give you the result. You can't, I could set the example of, yes, I can fight, and if I want, I can become the national champion, and that goal was to become the national champion. However, if I'm not going to be able to become a regional champion or a state champion, there's no way I'm going to be able to reach that level. And I mean, consistent, training, consistent work towards your main goal, that's what it takes. You got to make progress. That's all it is. It's progress. Sometimes it's tedious. Sometimes it can be quick. It's all really up to you and what you're after. How motivated you are, how determined you are, and how dedicated you are.
So you reached, like, what is, like, I guess I want to ask, I guess your best accomplishment or something that you're really proud of that you set your mind to and you accomplished it.
Definitely getting to the junior Olympic level, basically. As a kid, it's huge. You think of that. You think of how even everybody nowadays, they can talk about boxing and automatically first thing, were you ever Golden Gloves, stuff like that. Those type of small goals that I was extremely proud of. Getting belts, that I was able to, kind of show my brothers, and then my brothers getting their own belts. That really, really pushed me. And then even aside from, boxing, some of the other goals that I'm glad I set were, to be, for example, learning to ride a motorcycle, which I kind of owe to my girlfriend. She kind of taught me that one, which is crazy. A lot of people say, but yeah, taught myself, taught how to, ride a motorcycle, taught to play guitar. I was able to pick that up playing, and as a kid, I started off as a mariachi, and then
What? Oh my
yeah.
God, you have to send me pictures.
Yeah, I did. I was like 13, and then, we played mariachi, but, we had other kids in the class who would play rock. And I was really interested in the riffs they would play. They would play some Led Zeppelin, some Pink Floyd, some Nirvana. And I was, man, I like mariachi and all, but I kind of want to learn a little bit of that. I don't want to blame it on our teacher, but we just didn't get, I guess, the proper education in mariachi. It was real slow, and so in the downtime of mariachi, we would be playing, our rock, and I was like, dude, I got to learn this, and so I did. Drawing, or even in art. In high school, I remember I made you can find it on my Instagram. I made basically a bust. It was a theme about the ocean and what pollution has done. And first thing that came to my head was Cthulhu. I thought about the Cthulhu monster, the tentacles and the skull and all that. And so I decided I wanted to make that. And I put the bust, and it was basically from the shoulders up. That was the whole thing. And then the face had tentacles all over it. And it looked pretty crazy. The thing is, when it's made out of clay, you got to put it in the kiln to burn and get hard. And when we did that, the back of the head busted. And so now it's only the front of the face and the tentacles. But the crazy thing is, it's able to support itself on its own clay. And I mean, that's something that I was super proud of. I was some kid in art class that made this thing out of clay, from nothing to this 1 foot little bust.
So you're very multi-talented. You're a professional boxer, an artist. You also play the guitar. What else do you do? Mariachi.
The list goes on. I don't want to keep tooting my own horn though.
Keep doing it. You have to.
No, well, I mean, there's quite a lot of hobbies that I try to find for myself. Like, as with Freddie and the other guys, we love classic cars. That's one of our passions. We love we love horsepower. We love big engines. And at a very young age, my dad really introduced me into the car world. And when I was, and I think I was like 15, 16, my dad had got me a '77 Malibu. And so I got into a little bit of mechanic, and just kind of working on engines. So I got into restoration cars. I learned to play the guitar. I did sculpting. I boxed. Play a little bit of guitar, but played a little bit of piano here and there, but not too much.
Piano, dang it! I need to step up my game.
And then right now, honestly, one of my hobbies is gaming. So I might even make a Twitch channel and see who's trying to outdo me on the gaming world. But we'll see.
But you can make money doing
I
games too.
I've heard, and I heard how crazy amount of money you can make. But I'll be honest, I'm not at the level where I think that I'm the elite best. But I don't give some people the run for their money, especially on Warzone right now. I'm gonna get some issues.
So, um, whenever you started your career, did you have to invest like a lot of money into it? Because like with media and stuff, you have to invest in like equipment and stuff. But for boxing, I guess it's gonna be different. So, what would you say was like your biggest expenses, or just thinking about money wise?
Well, basically for me, I mean, you did media. You definitely got to invest in your equipment. So, I mean, some of the biggest expenses that I've had are basically like my gloves, my headgear, and my cup, basically my groin protector.
Mm-hmm.
And it really add up. And one of the best brands that I found was Winning, which is from Japan. Um, I mean, these gloves they can range anywhere between $400 to $800, just for a pair of gloves. And a lot of people like to go with the whole set. The headgear feels really light. The groin protector feels comfortable and it sits right. And you can wear it underneath your trunks and it feels good. I mean, the whole set can cost you anywhere between 11 to $2,000. It just really depends on what you want. But like something that I've really invested in boxing is every time I fight, I try to make a bunch of the Listo shirts, which I still owe you one because your dad took yours. I remember you telling me
Oh, I took
that.
him to owe him one.
That's what
I'll
happened.
take
Yeah.
another one though.
Well, then I owe him a shirt too. But yeah, so basically, I try to make shirts for everybody. For all the people that we call nuestra gente who support us tremendously every fight night. You've been to the fights. You hear how everybody screams. It's a good sight to see. But that's what I feel the biggest investment is to invest in yourself, and also invest in the people that support you. It doesn't it adds up, but it doesn't cost me much to be able to say, hey, I know that you're supporting. I know that you're going to be there ringside. How about a free shirt? Just for you to be able to have and be able to show that, hey, we're here for Listo, and it's also, memories that it creates. I know of people that have a collection now of all the shirts that I've made. They have every color. They have, all the dates. They tell me, hey, put this is from this fight, whatever it is, and you're like, shout out my suegra, she has every shirt, and she had me sign them all, she had me date them all, she had me she had me even put what round I won the fight on, if I won a unanimous decision or if I knocked out the guy in the third round, the first round or the second. She really wanted to have this collection. Who knows, maybe later on you might once I retire or something, you might even see that collection on eBay or something.
Yeah, it's worth a lot of money, so she needs to make copies of those. Okay, so how do you have like a marketing team that helps you like with your events, or like how does that go with like your boxing matches and stuff?
I mean, well, right now it's kind of everybody's kind of on their own. Each boxer themselves in the area is basically like their own business. We do try to help each other out. For example, when I'm gonna fight, of course, if I'm gonna be the main event, we still have a card of other talented boxers from the area, and I make sure I let everybody know, hey, look, like I'll be fighting main event, set date. However, be sure to keep your eye out on these fighters. A stablemate of mine that trains out of the same gym as I do is Eduardo Vasquez. He's been a good friend of ours for a minute, and he's been on pretty much all the cards that we've hosted. And we gotta kind of help each other out in that way. But as far as marketing, it's kind of all up to us. How often are we really gonna push ourselves to put our name out there? And so that's something that I really try to do is just try to stay more active on media. But it's really hard sometimes. Sometimes I really lose track of time. I get stuck between boxing and work, and I just I forget. Oh man, I could have posted this for content or something, but it's just like, well, there'll be another time. We'll see. We'll just keep moving.
Yeah, so actually one of the tips that my friend gave me is post 3 times a day. So
Mhm.
I guess when you wake up, during your lunch break, and then at night. So that could, like,
Okay.
help your content, even if
Yeah.
it's just like a motivational quote or something
Yeah.
for But that it is hard trying to post consistently because
Yeah.
I like don't even like posting on like my personal social media. So then like for business, I'm like, oh.
I got you. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even like for myself, I like I'm always posting on my Instagram stories, but I you know they erase. You know, a lot of people don't. You know, sometimes they don't even see it or just skim through it. As to when you post something, you know, it's there. People take their time and read it. You know, it's through their Instagram feed, their Facebook feed, their Twitter, whatever it is, their timelines. You know, that's something I really I've been told I got to work on. Hey, like, you know, you need to start, posting more stuff out there. You know, things that you're doing outside of the, because people do want to, some people do want to see what you're doing out there. You know, they want to see, whether you're working on your car, like I said, or playing the guitar, or even, just going out to the gun range, having a good time. You know, it's just, just stuff that interests people, and also something that I've learned. It's it's a really good way of connecting with the audience that follows me, or connecting with nuestra gente that they're like, oh man, I didn't know you did that. Like how about let me know next time you go. Let's see if we can hang out. Or like recently during the pandemic, I got into BMXing. Riding my bicycle and going to the park, getting a few jumps here and there, and met some people at the park, like, oh man, I didn't know you were into that. Let me know when you go. I can go. We can go skate or something, or if I'm at some trails, or if I go to the range, like, hey man, I go on Wednesdays or whatever. We should meet up. Have a little friendly competition, or shootout or something. So it's a really good way to connect with people. Especially it's the age of technology. That's what it is.
It definitely is. So what for me, because I have a question with like gaining sponsorships and like donors and stuff, or even just like just support in general. What would you suggest that I would do like to get sponsors and stuff?
Well, I think you know what I can tell you is that you have a really good personality, a really good character, and that really goes a very long way in building relationships with sponsors. Just feel free to reach out to them. Don't sometimes it's a little hard to gain that confidence, and like or you're very hesitant that you're like, oh man, I'm afraid of them saying no. But at the end of the day, that's the worst they're gonna do is say no. They're not gonna. What are they gonna do to you? They're not gonna take money from you. They're not gonna hurt you. It's just a simple no. It's okay. I appreciate you. You can even thank them for actually giving you a response, because sometimes you reach out to people and you don't get a response at all. So I mean, with the character that you have and as positive as you are, just feel free to just reach out there, be confident. Be confident in yourself, and be confident in what you're doing enough to where you're able to reach out to them without having to hesitate.
So is that what you did? Did you just like message people and answer sponsorships, or how did you do it?
Well, basically, I like certain businesses. I kind of interacted with them, and prior to becoming a sponsor, I would just interact with them, see what they're about, see how their views are, because sometimes, yeah, it could be a good business, but at the same time, if you guys don't really cooperate well with each other, then that relationship isn't there. It's not a good relationship to have. Some of the sponsors that I have, I've built great relationships with the owners of these companies, or these businesses, and that's I like that, because it's not just a business for me. It's building these relationships with people, and it's not me just being like, hey, help me out, help me out. It's like, hey man, how can I help you as well? I want to be able, I'm extremely happy for what you're able to do for me. How can I return that favor? Saying, hey, let me bring you more business to you. Let me get you more customers. Let me see if anybody is interested in this type of service. And that's what I try to do. I want to build relationships that last, not just I don't like being used, and I'm not the type of person to use somebody. So that's what I do.
That's good. Yeah, that's really good advice. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send a message.
Yeah, get after it, leave that.
Well, because like one of the warnings that my friend gave me was don't take like the first offer that they give you, because like there's people that like will scam you. So she's like, just be very careful with those type of companies that'll like scam you for like your content, and then they won't pay you, or they just just screw you over. So that's like I don't know. I guess as I start like messaging people more and getting more into it, maybe I'll start seeing like the warning signs. But do you have any like warning signs?
Well, honestly, I feel like maybe because we have different career paths over here, it's a little different for us. As far as media goes, I'm not too sure how that really works as far as the sponsors. Of course, you got to put their name out there and stuff. For me, most of the businesses that I have as sponsors on my shirts and on my trunks for fight nights, they're usually like not big corporations or big businesses. I tend to go with some of the smaller ones, because I would like small local businesses that I actually use to be known. I want them to be known about. I want you see it on TV or on a video or on a post. Hey, I saw Beto's Garage or City Chiropractic or whoever under your trunks. What are they about? Let's go check them out. And I mean, it's when I carry those names, it's because I trust what they're doing. I believe in what they're doing, and I have a good relationship with said business, and I try to help as much as I can, and that's part of it. But I mean, as far as the red flags, I mean, like I said, it's for me, it's hard to put those red flags because I've mainly just focused on the relationship with these people, and that's really helped me get away from worrying about the red flags. If the relationship's not there, then maybe that itself is a red flag. That, hey, it's not gonna work out.
Yeah, you're right. I'm definitely gonna put all these tips into practice because, like I said, I'm like just trying to figure out ways to make income, and so that's when like the hustler mentality kicks in. And you're like, all right, I gotta make money today. How are we gonna make money today? So
Definitely put this into use. I mean, like, even feel free to reach out to me outside of the the interviews. Like you have done. Just you have any questions? Hey, how do you do this, or how do you work on that? I mean, don't hesitate to give me a call or just send me a text. I'm willing to help and help you as much as I can. That's what I'm trying to do.
thank you. This was a great interview. I feel like there's like a lot of information people can use too. Cause
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
yeah,
Definitely not just for you, but everybody out there. Maybe we have local businesses watching us right now. Feel free to put those connections out there. Use these tips. Whatever you can get, whatever information you feel is going to be useful, use it. You don't have to use everything, but I mean, just put some of these stuff into practice and see how it helps. And like I said, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll try to help as best I can.
yeah, thank you. So I am gonna make a quick message for anybody who is watching who's like a smaller business. If you want to like sponsor just stuff for the show, y'all can message me on Meeting Millennials on my Instagram or meetingmillennials@outlook.com, and we can work something out because I'm all for like the small entrepreneurs right now because I've seen like just experience it myself. I'm like, wow, we really have to support each other because the government's not doing it. So who else? La gente, like you said.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for taking the time out to be interviewed again. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to you too.
Thank you. And we will film next time, hopefully when you're a champ.
Yeah, we will. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
it will. So yeah, thank you so much. And the live actually died, so it's just me and you right now. Whoever's watching in the future.
All right, cool.
So
I
yeah.
just want to say thank you again, and if this is gonna be put out there, thank you to everybody that tuned in as well. And again, happy birthday to you. Celebrate, make the best of it. And like you said, get that party going.
Yeah, but the another thing is like not everybody can go to like the celebration because some people have COVID, and then some people belong to the streets. Y'all know who I'm talking about. They belong to the streets and they keep going out, and it's like that's another thing. Like, should you really be going out right now with all this stuff going on? Like, there's people who consistently are going out to drink, and it's like I know some of those people have like gotten COVID just because they're going out, and then they affect other people, and that's like you gotta take into consideration other people, not just yourself, you know? So
Yeah.
if you're going out consistently, man, I hope y'all are wearing masks when you go out or something, or just don't touch me, please. But yeah. So thank you for everybody who's tuned in. I'm praying for everybody's safety during COVID, and stay motivated.
Yeah, definitely. Stay motivated, stay dedicated, and stay determined. Don't lose hope.
Amen. And if you need advice, go to Listo because I'm struggling.
I got you.
Alrighty, we'll see you on the next time.